Well, today's video is going to kick off a new series of find the fish, catch the fish, and cook the fish. Now, some of you might think that's pretty close to the catch, clean, cook that's been done quite a bit on YouTube. Unfortunately, the whole cleaning part, social media platforms kind of have a problem with. And also in the catch, clean, cook, I don't think a lot of people do the whole finding the fish part very well. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I'm finding these fish. Today we're fishing a large river system. It's towards the end of July right now. Water temps are in the upper 70s, low 80s, and it's going to get warm today. But these fish are still fairly shallow relative to the fact that we're getting into the dog days of summer. I'm going to show you the setup I'm using to catch these fish. It's a very simple technique. A lot of you probably used it before. And then I'm going to show you cooking the fish with a very special breading recipe by ACC Crappie Stix. So first, let's run down river and let me show you what these fish look like on side imaging and kind of areas that I'm focusing on trying to look for these fish. So even when water temps are really warm like they are today, you know, almost 80 degrees, here we are at, it's like 7 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, and we're almost at 80-degree water temps. These fish can still remain really shallow in these river systems as long as there's a lot of current. So right now I am going by some bridge pilings here, and the base of these bridge pilings actually has a large kind of square concrete footing that's only about 12 feet down, and there's a lot of these fish that are just sitting there. So I'm going to try to go over it a couple different times at different angles to show you these fish are just sitting right on that concrete base along with this pillar. So right now this pillar is going to come up on the left side of our screen here. And you can see there's a lot of debris, and there's the start of the base, and then there's the pillar. Now if you noticed, let me zoom in here, what we got on the piling itself, there's some fish right there. And again, as we're looking left, that concrete footing keeps going towards the left. So there are fish stacked all along that concrete footing on both sides of that pillar, as you can see. Let me see if I can do one more pass around and get a different angle at it. One of the questions I get quite a bit on videos of how to use side imaging. My settings are pretty straightforward. Contrast is at default. My brightness is on auto low, which typically is like 85% gain. I run my UHD frequency, and my range I typically set at 70 feet left and right for the most part. If I'm looking for brush piles or something, I might go out to 100, 120. But if we're looking for fish, 70 feet left and right is pretty good. All right, here we go on the right side of the screen now. We got the concrete footing, and there's the pillar. Coming at it the other way, the fish actually stood out a lot better. I mean, you can definitely tell there's some fish tucked in there a little bit, but let's go one more time around. This is the one issue with side imaging. You might have to go at bridge pilings or, you know, docks or whatever you're trying to fish, different angles, because different angles are going to show fish a little bit better depending on where those fish are sitting. So right now we're going to go basically in line with the concrete piling here to see if they can pick up those fish a little bit better with the side imaging. So on the left, there's the start of the concrete footing, and then there's the pillar, and you can see there are fish. There's fish stacked in there. Typically they're on the downstream side of these pillars, but it looks like they're kind of set up on the side of them. Typically I'd find them right there on the footing, right as the pillar goes into the footing on the downstream side here, but it looks like they're kind of on the side. They're not upstream, they're just, you know, probably there's a current seam there that they're just sitting in. So now we found some fish, let's see if we can put a few in the boat. Yeah, you guessed it. If you guessed slip bobber, that's what we're going with today. And just threw on a little red bobber stop. And then these slip bobbers, I know people say it's a spring style, it's going to lock in. Nope, it's got two little notches here. I'll explain that in a second. One is a fixed bobber position, the other is a slip. And then I'm running with a 1/8 ounce ACC Crappie Stix jig and a Crappie Monster small fry plastic. Let's pop this guy on. like that. Notice how he slides up and down the line. There we go. There he is. Okay, these are dinks. Let's go find some bigger ones on a brush pile maybe. Or maybe try a different pillar. But these are baby crappie, not what we want. Well, different day, different lake. Unfortunately, the crappie I caught in the river weren't eater quality, and it got really hot really quick. I got up to like the mid 90s, which for Wisconsin is pretty darn warm. I don't typically like it being out in that weather, so today it's a little bit cooler. It's upper 80s right now, but hopefully it cools down a little bit this afternoon. Today I wanted to show you different pieces of structure on a lake. So hopefully we can find some crappie on brush piles, specifically brush piles that are on a point, and also fish that are on deeper weed edges. So clear lakes up north, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Dakotas, Michigan. Weeds can probably grow 15, 20 feet of water because it's so clear. The sunlight can get down there, so you can find those crappie in deeper weed piles. I'm actually coming over some brush piles right now. I want to make sure I can record the screen for you. Okay, so these are some brush piles that I marked. I haven't been on this lake in almost a year, but there are some brush piles up on this point. It's a mixture of rock and kind of sand. We're going to be fishing probably 15 to 20 feet of water. The fish on the river system, they were shallower because there's a lot of current, cooler water moving through there, a lot more oxygen. Fish on our natural lakes, they got to get a little bit deeper to get that cooler water. So we're probably going to be finding fish in 15 to 20, maybe 22 feet of water. It's been really, really warm. There are some brush piles mixed into this big rocky point, as you can see here. I'm going over the top of a few of them here. Cribs, as they call them up north, but yeah, there's a ton of fish stacked on these brush piles. So we're going to use that bobber and jig technique and hopefully put 5 or 6 fish, eater quality fish, in the boat. We can cook them up for dinner. But typically this is what I'm looking for. Let me pull up a map here. So right now this is just kind of like a mid-lake point that sticks out. And a lot of times when people drop brush piles, it doesn't matter if you're up north or down south, the vast majority of people, when they drop brush piles, they drop them on either the center of these points, like this is a big flat basin off this point, or they'll drop them right on the sharper breaks. Like right here where my boat is, kind of an inside turn is pretty standard. If you're fishing a lot of those reservoirs in the mid-south, a lot of people will drop brush piles right on these inside or outside turns. On this lake, they tend to drop right on top of the point. So we're going to circle back and get on top of that brush pile. See if we can catch half a dozen fish and fry them up. Oh, got them right on the drop. That might be, I think that might be an eater. I got a feeling all these fish are going to be 9.5 to 10.5 inches, but they'll still fry up pretty good. The bobber didn't even have time to go fully up and down. He hit it right on the drop. Yep, that's about just shy of 10. I was watching that red bobber stop I got here. Ooh, he got me too. And I noticed that thing as it was going towards the bobber, hit the bobber, but the bobber still stayed sideways. Ooh. Oh, see that? I can see the red bobber stop go to the bobber, and they're popping it. Oh, see that bobber went sideways? That is how you know you got a bite. And this guy, we'll see. It's going to be a lot of cookie cutter size crappie. Gonna need a pliers on him. Well, that's a 10-inch fish. There's 10 right there. He's gonna fry up. there he is. Yep. It's another good eater. Another just shy of 10, 9 3/4. A couple more and we'll go find some fish on the weed edges. Oh, there he is. Dang it. Oh, he's still on there. That's a good eater. Come on, buddy. Stay on. That's a 10-inch fish. Yep. Let's get him on the scale there. Yeah, he's just over 10. Almost 10 1/4. Another good one for the frying pan. Oh, muskie. Big muskie right here. Oh, there's a crappie. I bet that muskie's going to try to hit it. This might be our 4th eater. Yeah, it's another 9 3/4. Not monsters by any means, but they will fry up just as good. So now I got my fish in the live well. Time to head home and try some of that ACC Crappie Stix breading, lemon pepper. First, going to dump that oil into the fryer here. Takes about a gallon. Turn that temp all the way up to 350 or a little bit warmer if you want to get these fish done quicker. Little batter seasoning to one bowl. Doing an egg wash in the other bowl. Make sure you coat both sides so that batter sticks really nice. And then double up on that batter. Make sure those fillets get extra crispy and golden. And then to test that fryer, make sure the oil's ready. Just dump in a little seasoning flake. If that bubbles up, you know you're good to go. Get these fillets into that batter, hear that sizzle. And when those fillets float up, you know they're done. Just dump them on a paper towel, let them cool off for a split second, and enjoy. Check out ACCCrappieStix.com to pick up that fish batter with that lemon pepper seasoning. Hope you enjoyed the video. We will see you in the next one.